And I'm glad I was looking at the OBS because they can't hear you for some reason. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's try that again. Hi, everybody. I'm Noah the End Bandicoot.
And I'm Sean the Imp Ninja. I got ramen.
And yeah, and this is a little bonus thing. So everybody knows how much we hate RWBY, so we're looking forward to more RWBY. This is RWBY Ice Queendom. That's a pretty stupid name, but I bet it has something to do with Weiss. And from what we can tell, this seems to be like an alternate universe RWBY thing. Like, this doesn't look like it has anything to do with the main canon, and it's an actual anime, like it's 2D animation. And
being done by Shaft, which is pretty interesting, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know what to expect. Honestly, when I saw the project, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I immediately thought, well, I should text 2 people who I talked about really before about this. So, I did.
Yeah. So, yeah. Don't know what to expect.
I didn't expect something this fast.
That's very fair. I guess they're really excited.
Showing the banner a lot.
Yeah.
Eventually something will happen. This is live right now.
Yes.
Fuck. Alright.
Yeah.
I guess they must be excited too.
Everyone here with us in the venue, good morning.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for your applause.
Okay.
And everyone viewing live streaming, thank you very much for watching. Welcome to Anime Japan 2022. Our RWBY Ice
Barely hear it.
special stage renamed RWBY Project New Project launch announcement.
How about now?
Oh boy. I can hear it fine.
I am the MC for today.
Still good?
Yeah.
Freelance announcer Haruka Mori. Nice to be with you all.
So you're taking over the IP, right?
You're buying it, right?
You're buying it, right? That's
The animation of adaptation.
honestly, if this is just to relinquish of power, that'd be good with me.
There was all kinds of information disclosed, and today we will be providing you various kinds of information on RWBY Ice Queendom. So I hope you'll enjoy this stage till the end. Now let's
All right,
invite
so we're
the
getting
cast
some
members
answers.
onto the stage.
Yep.
And please welcome them with.
I'm actually excited. I don't usually do anything like this, but RWBY is so close to my heart. It's like your child, but your ex-wife owns them the most, and they turn them into awful people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I don't know any of these people, so I didn't watch
I
it in
know, but
Japanese.
I can already tell that these are the Japanese voice actors just from what they're wearing.
So I think they came out in outfits that suit each character. So let's have a few words from them. So we'll start from leader of Team RWBY.
Wouldn't it be some shit if they actually got the English dub, guys, to translate this?
That's too much.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, good morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you.
Seeing RWBY as a snowboarder kid is really weird.
Adorable, though.
I love it, but like, Jesus.
Well, it works better in anime, honestly.
Is she a normal girl that gets thrown into a lot of bullshit? Like, I don't get it. Wait, is her scythe the snowboard?
Oh, if that's the case, that's fucking cool. I like that.
Like, I'm looking at the snowboard. That looks like it Whoa. Fuck, Weiss.
She does look very good in that style. I like it.
Oh, they even gave her, like, dark, light bluish lipstick.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I never thought
she ain't fucking around. Yeah.
Will be able to appear here in Anime Japan 2022. I didn't expect this.
So I'm already sold. Where do we get our tickets?
Exactly. Yes, and I'm really happy about this. Hope you enjoy the show today. Thank you.
I kind of want to go back to
A mysterious
Oh.
clowness girl with a
Oh.
love for books as Blake Bellamy reaches number 2.
I love that
Holy
reaction.
Good morning, everyone.
Holy shit.
I like how the bow only covers one ear. Like, it's clearly not meant to be hiding, but it's more of a stylized thing.
I just realized that, yeah. Whoa, Blake. Like, holy shit.
Hey, if she has an actual character this time, then that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Never thought that we'd be in starring in Anime Japan, and we are all surprised.
God.
So I want you to feel this excitement and enjoy.
I'm gonna watch me
together
just
with
get
us today.
disappointed in Yang for some reason.
And finally,
Nope.
the powerful girl who is
Nope. She's
No,
adorable.
The style works very good.
Everyone, good morning.
She's so adorable.
It's very cute, yes.
I'm
No,
Ikishima,
literally,
and
this
I'm
like shit like this is why I've been like, yeah, a RWBY anime would be cool to see, honestly.
relaxed stage since
Yeah.
we 4 of us are together again.
Like,
But I hope you enjoy it.
damn. Like, I look at her, I'm like, there's no way bitch Yang comes out of that mouth.
No,
No,
that's wordplay right there. That's puns. That's going out with a Yang.
I really want to go back to RWBY's artwork because her snowboard looks like it could be the Scythe.
I mean, potentially she might have had some modifications on it, especially if they're going to a winter-themed area.
1, 2, in 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's cute.
That's so Japanese.
It's very Japanese, yes.
I never thought that we'll see this pose on this Anime Japan stage. Well, I did it for the
I'm
first
sure it's
time
hard to
actually
do with
today,
those
but-
dresses on.
Well, thank you anyway.
Yeah.
Except for Yang. Yang, you literally just put your hands in the air so you just don't care.
Truly, we never did it together, but we thought that maybe we could do some kind of physical expression.
I'm wondering
so
what's going to be announced
we
for
came up with
this.
idea.
Yeah,
I also see that they're still doing precautions. They have the boards in between.
that's
Yes,
good.
sorry, time is really limited.
I mean,
So,
Japan's usually pretty good about that kind of stuff,
yesterday,
so
information
it makes
was
sense.
disclosed, and it was announced that RWBY Ice Queendom is a completely new 2D production that is going to be created in Japan and released as a TV animation. First of all, we would like to watch the trailer shown for the first time here.
Oh, they have a
in
PV
the
ready.
Stage. And this
Very
at
interesting.
this stage is streamed online internationally. We'll be showing the English version.
Okay.
Thank you.
チームルビーだ。リーダーはルビーローズ。
All right. I'm with it so far.
I'm already happy.
人は塵より生まれ強く賢く創造性に
Oh, I
満ちている
like that background work.
だが破壊の獣たるグリムが人を敵とみなした
They look better in 2D.
Yeah, I was about to say, they look kind of scary.
かっこいいとこバッチリ見せちゃうから私のこと
They actually have
Yes.
fur.
Yes, that pose. Strike that pose.
ハッピーエンドだから
Also, did you notice that her pose, Weiss's pose right there was from the white trailer?
Yeah.
君たちは選手として
Oh my god.
受けてきた。
Oh my god.
4年間はチームでこう
Oh my god.
大した努力もなしにリーダーになったことがそんなに嬉しいの偉そう
I'm
に
wondering. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
君をリーダーにしたことを間違いとは思わない。
So far, there's definitely a lot of like redoing of what is in the series.
何かいい
Uh-huh.
どうしたらいいかわからないんですちゃんと戦えるって知ってほしいだけ
Maybe this is a reboot?
I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me because they're doing. It's.
There might
I'm
be
confused. No, so what I'm thinking
Wait.
of. Oh, hold
more.
on.
Wait.
How about this year? Interesting.
Alternate universe. It's
So,
alternate
yeah, what-
universe.
What I'm
Weiss was
thinking-
looking at the other version of Weiss.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking of is it starts out similar, with a few different flares and stuff like that. But they're gonna take it a different route.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that.
So-
That looked really
I thought
good.
that it was the English version, but it was.
Yeah,
strange
I'm
listening
surprised.
to
Like,
our
I was
voices in
expecting,
Japanese.
the animation I was expecting to be like, you know, good, but like there's actually a lot of fluidity to it. It reminds me a lot of
scenes that really attracted my attention. Some scenes you may
it definitely has like some of that Monogatari feel, which
sort of
was also done by Shaft. I haven't
Uh-huh.
actually seen it, but I've seen like various clips of like that Sakuga. And it's nice to see that like the show itself doesn't look flat. I also really like the background work. It gives me a lot of it reminds me a lot of Snowy with the red hair, honestly. Because it just has that kind of like that storybook look to it, which I think works really well. So it seems though.
Appeared several times in the trailer.
Hold on.
But I think it showed something within the heart, and she tends to clash a lot with
This looks
Ruby.
way too good.
And that kind of scene was depicted in the trailer, so I'm
There's
really
a lot
looking forward to what's going to happen.
to speculate on, because this revealed a bit, but not enough to really have any definitive answers.
Do you know what it is? It's well, I don't know if there's going to be more. Well, there's definitely going to be a lot more information to show off. It's going to go on for like 35 minutes, but like, what I think the initial trailer is to be like, look, Ruby's in a 2D anime, and at the very end, here's the new shit, but we're not ready to show the new shit yet.
So, what's really interesting to me is this is definitely not a reboot, because they're still making the show. So the only other two possibilities that I was thinking of before that trailer were either it's an entirely new canon, and you were thinking of a Weiss being an early villain based on visuals that we have seen, which, I mean, she might be, but she doesn't start off immediately.
Well, here's the thing.
It's clear that Weiss is the focus.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's called Ice Queendom.
She might even be the main character.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm being honest, would be interesting.
Here's the thing. I'm more convinced that the RWBY we know is going to a different universe where there's another RWBY team where everybody's radically different and maybe they're all distant from each other. Because I always thought that, because why would they show what they used to look like in their redesigns unless they were different versions?
Hey everyone, my name is Terry Sakras, and I'm RWBY's showrunner.
Hi, I'm Eddie Rivas, head writer.
Hello, I'm Erin Wynn. I'm the art director for RWBY.
We are so
for the Ice Queendom or for the original
so many
show?
Individuals and teams working on this have been inspirational to us over the years.
It's
an honor to be able to work with them and have them play in our world.
I mean, if
We're
this
working
is
closely with the teams in Japan to make sure this still feels truly like RWBY, but also
please
giving
don't.
them a lot of leeway.
please don't.
It's so
Yeah,
exciting
please.
to see RWBY like we've never seen
Like-
it before, and we can't wait for fans to see what's ahead.
Yeah, I hope it's better than what you make.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been interested in RWBY
Goodbye.
for a while, but you ruined it.
Goodbye.
Well, they're not the ones who are working on it completely. It's a different team that is working on it specifically. So
Yeah. And I can't wait for it to be way more popular than the original series.
I get the feeling that's what's going to happen, because RWBY appeals to anime fans, but from what I know, a lot of people have been detracting from the show based on the current way it's being produced. So seeing a 2D anime is going to be kind of a wake up, and I don't want to make any assumptions. I really don't want to make any assumptions, because I feel like it could be wrong, because I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, the show isn't out yet. Let's see what this is. The story composition is understand from newcomers to RWBY. We hope that both of them. Okay. Otobichi has a bit of a history, but we'll see. It's with Good Smile. That's interesting. That's really interesting. If you don't know who Good Smile is, they're the ones who make Nendoroids.
Oh, that sounds like something I'm going to be wasting my money on.
You probably will.
Especially those redesigns, fuck.
No, let me put it this way. When the show comes out, there will likely be a Nendoroid for each character. Oh,
But I
also,
think-
I'm gonna say something that you might not have thought yet. Neo.
You know, I was actually about to bring her up. The big question is Neo in this show movie? I don't know.
No, it's a show. It's a
It's
show.
a show. Okay.
It's a show.
All right, I wasn't
definitely a
100%
show.
sure yet.
No, it does seem to be a
I
show.
thought it was gonna be. I thought it was an OVA maybe, but like, okay.
Well, it could be an OVA, but like, it's not a movie.
It could be like
know
a
that.
Hellsing OVA.
Maybe. I don't know. It's
I hope not. I think, I believe each OVA took like a year to come out.
I don't remember. I'm gonna look that up now. Hellsing Ultimate. I'm gonna just look at the release dates for the episodes on Wikipedia. If it's even available. Alright, let's go to my anime list then. Episode 7 came out December 23rd, 2009. Episode 8 came out. Oh. Okay.
Next comment. Director Toshimasu Suzuki and Koshimizu-san, please.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a. You're right. Hellsing Ultimate aired February 10th, 2006 to December 26th, 2012. So, let's see. Continue to improve and aim for beautiful imagery through graphic processing. Thursday animation. I want to continue delivering the process. Okay. I do think the animation so far looks good. But then again, they usually try to show that kind of stuff during a trailer. So,
I mean, here's the thing: the fight scenes looked really good, and that's one of the things you wanted. They only showed the RWBY versus the gang members at the very first episode, but it looked really solid.
What sticks out to me immediately before even that trailer was when I saw the artwork for the characters. It is very much a simple style. And I told you this the other day, where when you simplify a style, it makes it easier to animate, and it can make it much easier to like create fluidity and a large amount of movement. Whereas like an overcomplicated design, there's a lot you need to redraw. So
good.
What it says to me is it's trying to go for a similar. It reminds me quite a bit of two things. It reminds me quite a bit of who's the creator of fucking the director of Soul Eater. It reminds me a lot of the style of Hiroyuki Imaishi, who is the animation director for Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, Special Luluko, and a few other series, as well as Soul Eater, which is Takuya Igarashi. What else has Takuya Igarashi done? He also did Blue Exorcist. That makes sense, actually. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, it reminds me a lot of those two directors specifically. So it'll be very interesting to see because for shows like that, the best thing you can say about them is usually the animation. Because Soul Eater looks fantastic. And then Hiroyuki Imaishi's work always looks really good. Blue Exorcist also looks really great too. It also reminds me a little bit of Fire Force.
Yeah, kind of.
Which I think is really good. It's promising so far. So
you want to know what God?
I'm more excited now because I do think that was a solid trailer. I do think the characters look great. I am excited to see where this strays from RWBY because it's going to, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like you know what's gonna happen. I have a feeling Japan's gonna have their own RWBY content, and America's gonna have their own shitty RWBY content.
You know what the sad part is?
What?
I do think we do make a lot of great animation here in the States.
Not
RWBY's not one of them. Like, there's so many.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to bring something up before you jump into another tangent. The thing I noticed about the animation is that everybody express
Yes.
Like I love like Blake. Blake looked like she didn't give a fuck, which was accurate because of that point of the show. She didn't really care about her own team.
Yeah.
Like she barely knew them.
The music-related
Like,
information was
God.
also disclosed yesterday.
It's going to be very interesting to see, especially with the fact that an anime is coming out this year, and seeing the animation makes me think that the anime is already a good amount in production.
Yeah, I think they're going the Nintendo route, like modern Nintendo, where the game or anime in this case is practically finished. They just want to release it. Maybe it's because we as humans have a short attention span nowadays, and now that we have they want to reveal and release in the same year to keep that attention.
I would actually bring up another thing. I would say impatience actually has a lot to do with it, because when you show a thing and it's very early in production and it looks promising, people are like, I want this now, and they're not going to want to wait. So keeping it quiet and then working on it and then being like, all right, we're about like maybe halfway to 2/4 of the way through, so it'll take like maybe a couple more months for us to finish this, but here's a trailer for what we're working on.
Yeah.
And then having it pushed off a little more to finalize things.
Honestly, the biggest example I can think of is Crash Bandicoot 4. I remember we were watching the trailer and then like, holy shit, it comes out in like 6 months!
Yeah, it was very quick. So the game was like mostly done by that point. So this feels similar. Like the anime is probably at least halfway done, from what
Honestly,
I can tell. Because
I prefer this because I lose interest pretty fast. So,
and considering the fact that we're already like almost in April, like that means even if it comes out in winter, that's only like half a year.
Yeah.
And that's not really that long for like a production of a show. So that tells me like immediately that the show is already a good amount through its production. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I think the show is going to be 12 episodes, 12 to 13, because that's usually what this kind of shit is.
Yeah.
Or it'll go what the original RWBY was, maybe like 6.
A few announcements here related to RWBY Ice Queendom.
Okay, we have more stuff.
So,
Give Weiss the club.
I mean, she probably is going to be the main character, honestly.
I left it on the seat.
Well, it's called Ice Queendom.
Could you please announce the first one?
And everybody's nickname for Weiss is Ice Queen.
Yes,
So
the
yeah.
first announcement is about the broadcasting schedule of RWBY Ice Queendom. Some thing that everyone wants to know. It will be released this year in 2022. Detailed airtimes and
20 years
broadcast
ago,
media
hell
will be
yeah.
announced successively through the official website and Twitter, so please follow our official accounts and wait for further information. And today, after this stage, via the RWBY Ice Queendom official Twitter, we will be launching a campaign where you will be able to win a poster with the autographs of the 4 cast members here today of Team RWBY present here.
I'd be down to get the poster. I don't think I would care if the autographs are on it.
Yeah, knowing you, you'd get the poster.
Will be limited to residents in
Yeah,
I do really like the poster, though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna replace my old RWBY poster for this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that snowboard's definitely her weapon. I can tell.
Smile Company. First of all, from the Pop-Up Parade series, the 4 members of Team RWBY will be available.
Yeah, so they're getting figures.
The figures will be based on the illustrations drawn by Nobuhiro Sugiyama, character design and chief animation supervisor of RWBY Ice Queendom.
Oh.
So this is original for this
I wonder if they're stationary figures or if they're mobile.
Ice Queendom.
Is my thing.
The
Probably stationary.
4 figures
Yeah.
of Team RWBY will
Well, Good Smile has done, or no, you're not the ones who done. Never mind. So it is going to be stationary, most likely. Because the only other like mobile figures they make are like Nendoroids, and Nendoroids, they might be Nendoroids. Team RWBY, actually. Whoa, wait, hold on. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Comforting palm-sized characters, RWBY,
Okay, so there are Nendoroids coming out, so they're different from these.
I knew that was gonna happen.
No, I knew immediately when I saw Was Good Smile. I'm like, all right, cool. When are the Nendoroids coming out?
Whatever pose you like, so please enjoy and feel comfort.
She's so adorable.
She's very cute.
What does she have in her hand? Isn't that a snowball?
Yeah, it's definitely just a, like I said, there already are Nendoroids. So these are going to be specifically based off these designs. They're not going to have like variations of their original designs. Those already exist. Oh, the manga.
Comic-related information. RWBY Ice
yeah.
will be published as a comic. A comic version of RWBY Ice Queendom will be serialized in monthly comic Dengeki Daio from Kadokawa by Suekane Kumiko.
Oh, Kadokawa. That's interesting.
When the series will start, what kind of story it will be announced in the official animation site and Twitter. So please look forward to further information.
And it just tells me that literally everything about RWBY is great when it's not touched by its original creators.
Yeah. Or rather, the original creators, like step-parents, essentially.
Yeah, well, Monty's unfortunately gone, so he can't have any say in it. But I get the feeling if he was to see like his characters in like 2D animation, he'd flip. He'd probably go into it.
Would.
Thank you. We have been hearing a lot of happy news since yesterday, and since I started dubbing RWBY series, and it's been quite a while. And now, Team RWBY that brings another set of happy news to you. So I'm very glad. As mentioned earlier, and I wrote words for this song, and by thinking about the stories of RWBY and also that what happens throughout the series. And the
Doesn't have a tough time translating.
And the lyrics by me.
Oh, it's a song they're singing right now, is it? Oh yeah, they're going to a song. Okay. I'm not as into this song, but I'm just trying to think more of like what I was thinking of earlier, but I forgot. I'm
excited.
Oh, no, like it's gonna be a cool project.
It'll be the best thing RWBY's ever produced. Literally since it was created.
She has a very nice voice, but it's unfortunate that... And this isn't just Japanese, it's anyone. I don't connect with foreign singing voices. Like...
I like songs when I don't understand what they're saying, because the voice to me is a musical instrument that complements the instruments that is actually being played. And once I learn what the lyrics are, it ruins the song for me.
I am the other way. There are a lot of songs that when I do learn the lyrics, I gain more of a connection to it because they create stories and such. And then I really like when songs try to do a story, which is why, like, if you remember what did the fox say? I know people hate that song, but that was literally a test by that guy to prove something, and that was to prove that songs don't need to be written well to get popular, and he was right. He got super popular. He's like, see, I told you. Essentially, like, he made that song annoying on purpose. Be like, watch, this will get super popular despite the fact that it's terrible, and it did. Whereas, like, a lot of songs I connect with, I remember, like, even if the lyrics are very simple, like, I love power metal, and power metal isn't anything like, super duper high art, but, like, it has a feeling to it, so. And I like to know that feeling, so when a song is in a language I can't understand, I'm just like, I feel a little alienated, and I can appreciate the vocals of it, but it's not for me. Like, I've tried, like, a lot of power metal is European, so, like, they'll sing it in, like, usually they don't, because a lot of, like, those bands sing in English, but there's also other countries that sing in their native language, and whenever that happens, I'm like, oh, well, that's nice, but I'll try someone else. Sorry. This is kind of like my immediate gut reaction. Which sounds bad, but like, it's just how I am. I connect with things when I can understand what's being said. Because I'm a dumb American. That's what people will jump to, at least.
I mean, you are.
Well, the problem is, like, I can explain my own reasoning behind things, but people will just misinterpret it, being like, oh, so you're like this, and they'll just, like, jump to a conclusion. Like, that's not what I said, but cool.
It was what you were implying.
Not.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh. Some people just genuinely can't connect to foreign voices.
That's fair.
Because it's like an immediate disconnect. But regardless of that, very nice voice. But back to the...
Thank you for listening.
Nice voice, but I'm too racist to enjoy it.
Wow, fuck you. Fuck you. No, she has a very nice voice. I actually did not know that the voice actress for RWBY could sing, so that's actually quite interesting. Lindsay Jones, I'm sure, cannot. And it's not being mean. Most people can't sing.
Yeah, I can't.
It makes me think of why it was really interesting to hear the actor Machete say why he doesn't do his own stunts. And he was like, because there's other people for that, and that's what they do. I don't want to prove that I have a big dick just because I can do two things. I act, he does stunts. You know, it's
and then you got Willem Dafoe being like, I got 3 dicks, and I'm not afraid to slam them each on the table.
I don't know, it's a really interesting, like, thought of that. But, it's interesting to see when people are multi-talented, but just having one talent, I think, is enough. You don't need to prove that you can do everything. So,
unless you want to.
I mean, yeah, you can. Like, no one's stopping you, but like, you don't need to.
Like,
if you want.
I remember Willem Dafoe wouldn't be in No Way Home unless he did his own stunts.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know if it actually was true or not.
It is true. Like,
it is true. Okay.
Yeah, he did say so in an interview.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
We can talk about this title and the story, so that later, and I hope to have another stage to talk a lot more.
Oh, they're not talking anymore? Are they done?
RWBY Queendom, and if you haven't watched the original RWBY series,
please don't.
Please don't. She's bowing because she's like, please don't. I'm begging you.
And I checked official Twitter account.
It'll be really interesting, especially to see the original like volume 1 and like 2 story done in another creator's style.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be differences, obviously. It's going to have the main like story similarity, mostly, because it's gonna deviate somewhere.
Yeah.
Ooh! I thought of something. I thought of something that's very interesting, and I don't think it's going to be true, but hear me out on this. So we're both on the mindset that we think this is an alternate dimension, an alternate like timeline. What if a triggering event is Pyrrha surviving?
I
don't think that would happen. I don't think her death was really that important, but...
No, I know, but like, what if, like, there's gonna be some triggering event that starts off making everything different. So that's just more of like a fan speculation kind of thing. I think it's gonna be way earlier than that. And what I think is gonna happen is I think it's gonna be a trade-off. I think other characters are going to die.
I feel like I still have a gut feeling that Weiss is going to be an antagonist.
I think she's gonna be a main character.
Well, you can be a main character and an antagonist.
Well, yeah.
Like, I feel like whether she's willing to or not, I feel like she's going to be antagonistic towards RWBY at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us in the venue, and thank you.
All right, so that's that. It seems.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. I'm a little bit more excited than I was before. I have more questions. Funny enough, they answered a few, but not more.
I mean, that's fair.
I am excited to see what happens with this.
Same.
the fact that it comes out this year is already pretty interesting and shows you don't even have to wait all that long. And there's a lot coming out this year that I'm very interested in too. There's a lot of Marvel movies coming out. There's a lot of anime. There's a few other shows, a few Star Wars shows coming out. There's a lot to like fill up this year. So it's not like I'm gonna be like clawing, like I need to shout now. It's more like a genuine interest of like it'll be cool when it comes out.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, for me, there's a lot of anime coming out. There's a lot of video games coming out.
Oh yeah, there's 2 that just came out.
Yeah. And like, I'm like 2022. Just stop it.
My money, and I've already told you how much fucking money I've spent. But this is stuff I want, so it feels different.
I think I do have one question. How are you gonna be able to watch this?
It's going to be on some streaming service, obviously. So some service is going to pick it up. My guess is probably Crunchyroll. And considering the fact that Crunchyroll and Funimation just had a combination, it will likely be on both.
Because I'm a little concerned that I will... I don't want it to be exclusive on that Rooster Teeth server.
Well, no, it's being done by someone else. So I don't think so. And since Crunchyroll is trying to already get acquisition for Rooster Teeth, or not Rooster Teeth, for RWBY, I feel like it might show up there.
I hope so.
I don't know. Because the shitty part is Rooster Teeth used to be on VRV, or Verve, but it got taken off. So I would have been able to watch it and show you guys, but it got taken off. So unfortunately not.
Yeah.
My only other thought is getting it temporarily when the show is done, and then just canceling it.
Basically.
Like, get a free trial, watch it, cancel.
Basically what everybody does.
Yeah. Like, I'm fairly excited because I was nervous at first. One thing I was nervous about was I was nervous that there was going to be possibly some CG animation being done for the fight scenes. But it doesn't look like that's done so far, since the style was very like simple. But we'll watch this again just to see it again, because I want to look closer at some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I love the everybody is so expressive now. Like, you know, they were pretty expressive in the original show, but like I appreciate that I can actually see what their faces are emoting.
Yeah, I still really like this background work.
Yeah. The Grimm actually look kind of terrifying in 2D compared to 3D. They kind of look like dopes.
Well, yeah, there's like...
Love that pose.
No, you know what that makes me think of? Immediately makes me think of, which goes back to what I was saying earlier about the animation. It reminds me of the first episode of Soul Eater.
You're right.
Right? It's almost the same location. She does the same pose.
The location looks very similar.
Yeah, it makes me think of so much of that, which if it continues a vibe like that, I'm all for it. Yeah, that feels so much like Maka Auburn, and I'm here for it. I really like that. Because the scythe is such an interesting weapon. It's impractical as fuck, but it's cool.
Yeah. I just like this pose. Like, it looks like what RWBY probably should have always been. She's adorable, but she's also a badass.
This pose
screams that for me.
This pose is definitely like it definitely gives me like a strong female vibe, but it's not like the kind of like in your face about it. It's more of the matter of fact kind of way.
Yeah, she also has the face that's like, get off my dick, bitch.
All right, Sasuke, calm down. Ruby Rose, more like Ruby Kiryu, am I right?
Yeah.
But that's also from the White trailer, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, and yes,
I love how she has the gradient hair.
Yeah,
that looks so pretty. Literally, this right here already makes me care for her more than in the entire show of RWBY.
That is very fair. Like, it's really funny is that Blake, according to a bunch of people, was like, oh my god, she's like the most beautiful one of the four. And personally, I never got that. Like, I get that whenever I see like key art for like, 2D artwork for the characters. I can kind of get that, but like this shot right here alone, like, my god.
So what's really sticking out to me is she's giving me Kudere vibes, which is basically like the one who's very quiet.
I know, but I mean that's kind of what she was. But
until like that, Yeah.
I mean, the problem with Blake is that she started off like a Kundere, but then she had like an attitude problem throughout as the series kept going until her arc was finished. Then she became a nobody.
No, my problem with Blake is every single character arc she had was finished way too early. Yeah. And that left her with nothing to do. Like her being uneasy with Team RWBY was finished in like a season. I'm like, no, you should have continued that.
It was like a couple of episodes.
You should, like, if it had continued and made it so like their team dynamic was like flawed and such like that, it would have brought more interest, especially to the character of like, oh, like, why is she like this and such like that, and just like kind of draw it out a bit and build this mystery. But instead, they kind of revealed everything too quickly. They fixed everything too quickly, and then she was done. So I really hope they space everything out, especially since it looks as though this is an alternate canon. So it makes me think that obviously at some point it's going to diverge from what the original RWBY series did, and I'm really curious when that is.
That is
because it's probably going to be a little subtle at first, and you might not even notice it. Like you're watching the show as normal, and then you realize, wait, this is different, and then like you kind of like try to go back and you see what the defining points were. Because the idea of it is between different timelines, there's always like a defining moment that changes a timeline.
You know what? I think I might know the moment just by like theorizing it.
It probably has to do with Weiss.
Actually, it's entirely to do with Weiss. Like, I think, as much as I don't want Pyrrha to die, I feel like everything up to Volume 3 will be the same. The difference is when they all meet up in Volume 4, Weiss is the only one who doesn't meet up with them, and she's at Atlas, and she is becoming, like, the Ice Queen that her father wants her to be. Like,
I think it's going to be a lot sooner than that, actually. Because here's the thing. I'm gonna say no to that because Pyrrha's redesign says that something happens and she stays for their change. Because otherwise she wouldn't get that design. The fact that she does have that design tells me that whatever happens and changes, maybe not like live like, for the whole series, but she's not gonna die at the moment she does before. She might even change her character completely. I don't know. We're not going to make any speculations. I just know at some point something is going to be like, oh, cool, this is the divergent point, and something, and the universe changes. And I think it's going to be less depressing. I think this is going to be the good timeline.
I mean, yeah, the original is very much the bad timeline in more ways than one.
I think this is going to be the good timeline. I could be wrong on that. Very much wrong with that. But the vibe it's giving so far is very much a positive kind of like adventure vibe. And like even just there, like that shot of like the raven taking a bite was pretty fluid, and it had a lot of like anime flair to it. So I'm really interested to see how this turns out. But so far I can say that I am very like that shot is gorgeous. That is gorgeous right there. I'm excited. Like seeing shit like that. And this is also great too. That looks great.
You know what? I don't know what it is, but I feel like Yang is the least impressive girl that I'm seeing so far. Like
they didn't show much of her. She shows up like twice.
Yeah, that's fair. But like I feel like I'm going gaga for everybody but Yang, who used to be my favorite.
Yeah. Because the thing is, they're being done with someone else, and there's something being done with them, so they're getting more character. Whereas Yang was always the one who kind of stuck out because she was always like the most expressive. But anime itself is already very expressive, so they're giving the other characters a time to shine. So it just feels like instead of Yang like overshadowing, the others are just kind of getting up to an even playing field. Also, I noticed RWBY has a gradient hair to her too. It's like black and red. I like that.
She's always had something weird with her hair. Like,
so unnoticeable in CG, though. It's so
Yeah.
hard to notice.
Oh yeah, it's non-existent basically. Like if you look at promotional art, she has like a red tint to her hair, but like you can
In
never
CG,
see
you
it
can't.
in the CG. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see because I I think RWBY as a plot works so much better in an anime, which is why people say like RWBY itself is a faux anime.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is I think the defining moment is Beacon is not going to fall
Yeah.
because Japan loves school. Anime loves to keep the characters in school. So I feel
Yeah.
like that might happen. And I feel like Beacon is going to remain as like a safe haven or something like that. I don't know. That's just a speculation. I could be super wrong. Who knows? I don't. We don't. No one knows yet except for the writers.
Yeah.
Um all I'm saying is that's what I think is going to happen. I think the defining moment of like what happens to change everything is earlier than volume 3. And I'm interested in this project. Like I've been I've been beaten by Ruby so much, and just watching all of those volumes back to back took something from me, and I want this to give that something back.
Yeah.
So I am here for it. As soon as I even saw that announcement, I'm like, okay, even if this isn't amazing, this is going to be very interesting to see.
It's gonna be way
So
better than the actual show.
I am I wouldn't even say cautiously optimistic. I'm feeling optimistic. Because the trailer so far is definitely giving me things I want to see. I am looking forward to this. And even if it's like not as good as I want it to be, the fact that we're even getting this is already something great.
Here's the thing. I always felt like this was gonna happen, or at least this
Just
is what I
when.
really want to happen. Yeah, it was. I actually think I said this in the discussion. It's not a matter of it isn't gonna happen because Rooster Teeth is going down even now. If I'm being honest, like AT&T is gonna shut their doors someday, and I was always like, somebody should get the RWBY IP and do exactly this.
Yeah.
I always believed it was going to happen, but you're right. It was a matter of when it was going to happen.
My
And
big thing of why I knew when it was going to happen is because there are certain Western IPs Japan takes a serious interest in, and it always makes me think, oh, cool, when are they going to do something with this? Not if they're going to do something, when. So I knew if Rooster Teeth goes under, someone in Japan is going to buy that IP immediately,
exactly.
and they're going to do something. So I think that even with this anime, Rooster Teeth is going to go under, and I think that because Shaft is working on it, they're going to get they're going to get the project,
Yeah.
which would be interesting to see. Because Shaft is owned by Good Smile, I think, considering the fact they're relations. So, that also is good news for you because if Neo appears, having Good
Yeah.
Smile on the company means there's gonna be a lot more fucking figures.
Yeah. Something I've been wanting for a while.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. God, it definitely feels to me like Weiss is going to be the primary focus, especially since her prevalence in the trailer, her name being on basically like her reference being in the title of the anime,
Uh-huh.
and like the promotional work of her like alternate design being so drastically different. So I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to this.
The only thing that I'm a little confused by is that I felt like this trailer was supposed to be like, here's Ruby in a 2D anime, when while I'm very hyped for it, I'm more interested in these redesigns and what role they play.
Yeah, because Weiss looks significantly different. So the other thing that I think is where this also will deviate is I think Weiss will join her sister.
Yeah.
I think that's where the design comes in. It's not an antagonist. That's a general outfit.
I don't know. The fact
She
that
becomes
she
a
had
member of the army.
the
That's what I'm
fact,
thinking.
well, that's true, but like the fact that she is on a throne in a I don't give a fuck attitude, and there's
She also,
literally
I
an
imagine she
army
takes
of an army of robots right behind her. I don't know. I
I
still
think she
have
takes her father's place too.
maybe
Like she owns the company, and she something happens to him. I mean, then again, he's a dick, so it doesn't matter.
yeah.
But she combines that with Atlas probably. I don't know. It's speculation. Who knows? I don't. Like I said, this is all just like theories and shit like that. And we're not gonna like say like this is the definitive thing like game theory does or whatever. We're just more like throwing out ideas of like what could happen while we wait for more definitive answers. Like,
Exactly.
do I think anything of what I've said is definitively going to happen? Fuck no.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just fan rambling of things I want to see or things I might see based on the limited information we have. But I'm excited nonetheless. The fact that I'm already like thinking about what the possibilities could be just shows that like it tells me I don't hate Ruby. I hate how it's turned out.
Exactly.
The
Like
original idea has so much creative potential that was not used. And I hate it.
exactly. Like I've said before that we even found out about this project is that I could never bring myself to hate the IP. Before this project even came out, I could never hate the IP because I love the characters, I love the early stories, the visual novel that I never shut the fuck up about shows the potential, and now I think we're seeing Ruby's potential being flourished to its strongest peak. This is gonna be like this is not a really hard bar to raise to, but like this is gonna be the pinnacle of this series. You know, even if it is like a let's do Ruby all over again, but let's make it look good this time. Like, God bless Monty, you know. He was one of the pioneers for 3D animes, but it doesn't stand the test of time. So
One can only speculate how it would have turned out if he had never, had his accident.
Yeah, I'm sure the show would have been in a good place, but I don't think it would
say.
I don't think it would be this. It would stand up to other different like animes that come out. Like I love RWBY, the IP, and this is what I've always been wanting ever since Volume 8 came out. Because what we don't know if the writing is going to be better. I'm assuming it is, but we don't know. But honestly, just seeing this trailer over and over again, this is what I've wanted for a while. Like everybody looks so good. Everything looks just way better.
You know what I also noticed too?
What's that?
What I just noticed? Scenes are similar, but they're not one-to-one.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think about it before, but I don't remember Ozpin formally saying that RWBY was going to be the leader.
Yeah.
I thought that was announced
no, he did. No, he
He
did.
did?
Yeah.
To just the four of them?
Yes. Well, no. When it happened, it was in like a stadium full of people, and they were bringing teams together.
But clearly, that was just the four of them.
Yeah, it was just the four of them.
So,
but like he still said that RWBY was the team leader of RWBY.
What I meant was like,
it wasn't like an event. It was just a, hey, I'm the principal. Here are your classmates. You're in charge.
Here are your teams and stuff like that. Yeah, and I remember that. There was much more like an event of like, here are the people in your class. Whereas like more of just like, no, you're this team and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, we can only say so much as we only have a little bit more information. But
yeah. I can't wait to see Neo kick Yang's ass in 2D animation.
Nah.
Even though, yeah, like I already know Roman's coming back because of that fight scene we just saw.
Oh yeah,
and I missed him for a while, so it'll be fun to see him again.
Maybe he doesn't die this time. Hopefully he doesn't fight.
I mean,
if Roman's the main villain, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Cinder who?
Well, I wouldn't mind if Cinder's there, but I would like her to be more of like the she works for Roman
Well, I don't
because
think
that's
that
what it
would
originally
happen.
looked like. Well, give her a fucking backstory. I don't care. It's not like her backstory had much to do anyway. It was basically just Cinderella again.
Yeah.
Only this time I
Well,
cared less. At least I fucking like Cinderella.
I mean, I don't know what route they're gonna go. We don't know who's gonna be in this show. Obviously, I want Neo in there, but like, I'll be patient. I have a feeling she's gonna be, depending on how far they want to take this show.
Yeah.
Because Neo has always been a fan favorite character. Like, I'm expecting another trailer at some point showing off like villains and stuff and other side characters. And I can't wait to see John put on a fucking hat, scarf, and mittens. And that's his redesign.
I already know what's gonna happen the moment Noah sees Neo.
Not.
Got me there, mate. Well, anyway, that was our reaction and discussion of the Team RWBY projects, known as RWBY Ice Queendom. If there's any other news about this, maybe we'll do another reaction if we get another trailer. That'd be fun to do.
Yeah, it's nice to be excited for a RWBY project for once.
Yeah. You can only be disappointed so much.
For anyone who's saying it's just because we like anime, motherfucker, like
You're right.
I don't gush about The Mandalorian as much as I honestly should. Like, people underestimate how much I love that show. It's not just anime. I just like good writing.
Yeah.
And in the West, we have good writing. It's just that, like, all of it's in fucking live action shows. Well, some of it's in animation, but, like... Well, no, a bunch of it's animation, but, like, the primary focus in the West is, like, live action. Like, we love live action, not as much animation, which sucks. But in Japan, Japan loves animation.
I like animation. I'm not big in live action, unless with a few exceptions. Mostly Marvel.
Yeah. I would have said like well, I mean, I just said The Mandalorian. Like that's if I was to like say my favorite show that's not animation, that's it. My favorite show that's not an anime. That's it. So
we are getting off topic.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for I don't know. Something. If another trailer comes out, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Like I'm
You'll be ready,
super excited to waste more money on RWBY. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.